They're a handful off-road, especially if you're an older guy, and especially if you ride alone, and especially if you're an older guy that rides alone. Good Lord. What's up, fart knockers? We are back on the DRZ for probably what's going to be part 2 of the moto vlog, right? To work. Changes since part 1. 43 tooth rear sprocket, FMF PowerBomb header, and the main jet and the carburetor swapped out to a 170 per the chart that came with the JD Jet kit. And she seems to be running okay, but I have no wood to knock on, so yeah, that's kind of sketchy. Anyway, I'm like, you know, 99% sure I tightened everything up, so we'll see what happens. You guys that work on your bikes, that first ride's always kind of like, huh, did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do this? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I normally keep a checklist of everything that comes off the bike to make sure, you know, it goes back on the bike. And I try not to get interrupted during the assembly portion, because as I put parts back on, I torque them, right? I tighten. That way I don't overlook something. More easily to overlook if you kind of just hand tighten things and leave it and plan on doing it all the tightening at the end. Right? So yeah, if you put something on the bike, tighten it up right away. The 43 tooth rear sprocket, I guess this guy's not gonna go, is what comes on the 2025 or 26 DRZ4, so I figured I'd give it a try. I had it out on the highway yesterday, and yeah, it might be a little bit more relaxed, but without a tachometer it's really kind of hard to tell, right? But it does feel good, but I don't know, what does that mean? It pulls pretty hard now with this bigger main jet and the PowerBomb. I'm just thoroughly impressed with how well the DRZ 400 responds to modifications. I've never seen a bike respond this well to the basic modifications. The thing must be really choked up from the factory. Sorry if the sun's in your guys' eyes. But yeah, it's a night-day difference between the way it runs now and when it was stock. I'll turn the music down so I can hear the idle speed. Sounds about right. Hopefully all you gear guys don't give me crap for not wearing a jacket today. Hopefully the asphalt doesn't give me crap for not wearing a jacket today. Working another 100-degree day. So, you know, there's that. I have those Moscow Moto, the new Moscow Moto elbow and knee pads. I thought about putting the elbow pads under this, but I don't know how much they'd help crashing on the street. I guess anything's better than nothing. But I did not. What happened to my maps? Did Google shit the bed? Looks like it may have. Yeah, at least it remembers where I want to go. After I put the 170 in yesterday, I set the idle mixture screw at 1.5, and I haven't touched it. There's a little popping. I may have to open it up a little bit, but I don't know. Seems to run okay. Let's hope it stays that way. The 43 tooth definitely didn't hurt the bottom end at all. Then again, with airbox mod and a full exhaust and a JD jet kit, I probably gained some bottom end. And that was one of the reasons I went to the 43, is I should have enough power now to deal with that gearing, right? The new carburetor for the Himalayan came in. I just ordered a carb for a BS3. You know, it's I really like that carb conversion. I made the fatal mistake of leaving fuel in the bowl over the winter, and something's gummed up. I took it apart, put it back together. It's still not 100%, so something's going on. And I contacted the folks in the UK that sold me the carburetor kit and told them I needed some parts, and they're like, we don't sell parts for that carburetor. I'm like, well, that's awesome. You sell a carburetor conversion kit, but you don't sell parts to fix the carburetor or rebuild the carburetor. Anyway, I decided the carburetor was probably the exact same carburetor that came off a BS3 model of the Himalayan, the carbureted version, and ordered a carburetor, a brand new carburetor from India for $65. Probably less than what I would have paid for the parts I wanted. I don't know if the alcohol and the gas attacked the floats, but they felt kind of weird. And that's one of the issues I'm having, is the float needle is either sticking, or I don't know what's going on. Like, sometimes the bowl will fill up with fuel, sometimes it won't. I think maybe the rubber seal on the needle, for those of you that take carburetors apart, might have gotten attacked by the alcohol and the gas. So I just ordered a new carb, and then I will, if there's any difference in the jetting, I'll just move the jets from the conversion kit into the new carb and put that on. That'll be next weekend's project. And then maybe we'll have a Himalayan to ride to work next week. Gonna get the KTM out maybe tomorrow, or yeah, I don't know, maybe not tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I'll give you guys a ride on the KTM. It'll be loud and crazy like. Could be fun, could be scary. Now that bike's pretty good, but it kind of goes back to what I talked about in a different video. Is, you know, there's a point where lightweight isn't the best thing to have on the street. I know light bikes are always better, right? The lighter the better. But what happens when you get a bike like that KTM 500 that weighs 200, I think, and 55 pounds? On the road, she gets blown around quite a bit. It's not a very good street bike, but that makes it an amazing dirt bike. You know, everybody's always looking for that unicorn, and it just doesn't really exist. There's not going to be a perfect street bike that's a perfect dirt bike. I mean, KTM comes pretty close. It's just not a very happy bike on the street. Even at this speed right here, I mean, it does okay. But 55, 65, and 75 on the freeway, man, the turbulence behind vehicles kind of push it all over the darn place. And, you know, and you think the DRZ vibrates, good Lord. The big KTM 500, well, you guys will see when we ride it. But that's not taking anything away from that bike. That bike is amazing off-road. And mostly it's because of the weight. And of course it has the Well, everything about the bike's amazing. There's a crap ton of power, a really good suspension. The seat was replaced with a seat concept, so it's a little better. Because all stock seats suck, except for my BMW. That stock seat is amazing. So yeah, it's basically stock, other than a few bolt-ons like the mirrors and some bling, this and that. It's got stock exhaust, stock motor's completely stock, gearing stock. The tires are recalled, so it has brand new tires on them. Anyway, yeah, we'll give that guy a go this week sometime. We'll talk about it. I know when I'm riding it, and I'm not much of a super motard guy, but man, that bike that bike would lose my license with 17-inch wheels and street tires, without a doubt. Be nice if the water truck would at least do the speed limit. Come on, water truck. There we go. Good old Dollar General. They're everywhere. Got the big old seat concepts commuter seat on the DRZ now. It's a giant saddle for a dirt bike, but holy crap, is it comfortable. Pulls good. I like it. These Tusk Waypoint Adventure tires seem to be okay on this bike, at least for on the road, right? Commuting. I've only had them off-road a little bit. I don't know how well they'll do in sand. I'm not sure how they would do in mud. We don't really have a lot of mud here. We have sand and pea gravel and hard dirt. Heck, in half the places you go off-road here, street tires almost work because of how compact and dry the dirt is. That's kind of what kills me about, hey, what's the best tire? Well, only you know what the best tire is for where you ride. I don't know where you ride. I don't know what the dirt's like where you live. What are you asking me for? Buy a set and figure it out. No one's going to be able to answer that question. Literally, no one. They can tell you what they tried and the conditions they try them in, and you can go from there. But part throttle feels pretty good going up this hill in 5th gear because I don't have a 6. She's just motor on up the hill like it's supposed to. Itchy nose. FMF Q4, man, that's the way to go. It's a nice quiet exhaust. I had a power core in here and oh my gosh, it was just way too loud. I even put an aftermarket spark arrestor in it trying to get it to shut up, but it just wouldn't shut up. I'm not much of a loud bike guy, never have been. Mostly find them annoying as hell. And if I'm off-road, I definitely want it quiet. I mean, we're already possibly going to lose a whole bunch of BLM land with this administration. No point in trying to justify that, right, with going out there and acting careless and littering and making all kinds of crazy noises. So yeah, stick with the quiet exhaust, especially off-road. Yeah, bend that down a little bit. Is that better? Yo, yo, yo. So far, the Power Core, the 43, and the 170 main jet is getting you know, a thumbs up from me. Feels good. It's definitely a little more powerful, and the bike, like I said, does feel a little more relaxed with this gearing. Maybe Suzuki was onto something. They gained a little bit of bottom in at the right spot with that fuel injection and allowed them to put a 43 tooth sprocket on. It does feel pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I can't imagine that it affected the bottom end off-road at all. I mean, obviously I'm gonna find out, but it feels pretty damn good. So yeah, 43 tooth is one down from stock on the back. I might have to, I mean, I've got plenty of adjustment left, but I think this chain may have 3,000 miles on it, and it seems to be in pretty good condition. So I think what I'll do is take a link out, because I'm towards the rear of my adjustment. And I do plan on going on another cross-country ride on this year, maybe two. Will involve camping and all the stuff. I will avoid the sand pit that we got ourselves into last year. And if I can't avoid it, I'll make sure I film it just for you guys. You can watch me crash over and over and over again. Yeah, the bike feels pretty good. I feel like you guys that tune your own bikes and get really in touch with how they feel, I feel like I'm holding less throttle to maintain the same speeds. And like I said, only you guys that play around with your carburetors or your fuel injection tune and really get into that crap, you know what I'm talking about. It's the same in cars too, right? When you get things just right, you don't seem to have to hold as much throttle to get the results that you had previously if you made a change, right? That means you're headed in the right direction. I think that's why when you do an airbox mod and a jet kit on a DRZ, your gas mileage, man, goes way up. I think you gain like 10 miles to the gallon. Because when it's all choked up, you're having to hold the throttle so far open to make any progress. You're burning way more fuel than you need to when you're, you know, at highway speeds. Down low is probably lean as hell, but mid-range and up is probably gulping because of the amount of throttle you're having to hold. I don't know, it's just I saw it myself, and it's been reported by many people that the gas mileage goes way up after doing a jet kit. Kind of crazy. I really dig this Adventure Rally X tower though, holy crap. I wish the bike came with that stock. Man, for $9 grand it should, but if they would have done something like this tower, Rally Tower, and put it on the DRZ, and I know it's got somewhat of a little rally look going, but a full-blown real tower like this one would have really set that bike apart. And I know you hardcore dual sport dirt bike guys are, you know, you're probably not into the rally tower at all, but it's a thing, right? People are figuring out that a 300-pound bike on your adventure is a lot better than a 600-pound bike in a lot of ways, especially if your adventure is mostly off-road. Now, if it's on-road, obviously your big GS Africa Twin and Tenaire 700, which to me that's kind of borderline. It's still heavy. Big Tigers, things like that. They're a handful off-road, especially if you're an older guy, and especially if you ride alone, and especially if you're an older guy that rides alone. Good Lord. Yeah, I only go off-road on my GS with at least one other person along with me, because I can pick it up by myself, but you can get yourself in a position where maybe you can't pick it up by yourself. If it's a normal get off and the bike's just laying there on the cylinder head, well, you know, it's already 30 degrees up. You just got to go the rest of the way. And that's not so hard, especially on firm ground. But if it tips like all the way flat and you're in sand, oh good Lord. 540, 550 pound bike is heavy. I mean, you can practice all you want in your garage, but that is not representative of what it's going to be like in a bad location off-road. Yeah, so far so good on this, the DRZ, with probably the last 3 mods I ever planned to make on it. Right, famous word, right? And she's running great. Hopefully I shared some info with you guys on this video that someone somewhere found useful or helpful, and that person gives me a thumbs up, yay, or even a sub, I don't know. But yeah, you guys ride safe and have some fun. Talk at you later. Peace.